All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media, and my name is Judson Powell. Okay, um, kind of a low energy day for me. Sorry about that, but I only have a certain amount of time, so I need to go ahead and get this popping. A couple of people responded to my posts. In fact, a lot of people responded to my posts. Not all on the same place, but and I'm off of Facebook, so a lot of people have been sending me stuff in Messenger, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway, um, I want to talk some more about this whole anti-Semitic thing and why it is important. Because I think what we don't really understand is that this has shaped the modern paradigm. It has shaped the popular culture, and it has shaped so many things that happen in the world. All right. So now, because the media and the financial system are under the control of Jewish people, and one of the paradigms that we believe is in religion, the religion that they gave us. And once again, let's make it clear that Judaism is a religion. It's not a race. So there are people who claim, um, there are black people who claim to be Hebrew Israelites, but they have no proof. They just believe it. All right, and so you have a belief system, but you have no proof of your belief system. There's no factual evidence or information, just stuff that was written by somebody else, because in order to prove what you say a lot of times, or what people say, they use other false paradigms in order to prove, or in order to say, well, this is proof. But proof is not fact. So you can use something as proof, but it's not always factual. You can say, well, this proves this, but if you can't prove the origin of what you're talking about, then it's not fact. It's just. And so that's why, I started delving more and more into Kemetic spirituality. And the reason why I've delved into Kemetic spirituality is because there is, even their proof, or but it's the oldest proof that there is. Now notice I didn't say that it was necessarily factual, but I do say that there is more proof of Kemetic spirituality than there is of anything else going on around here. Why? Because once again, universal law. Now, I've been trying to get y'all to understand that it has nothing to do with your race, has nothing to do with your gender, has nothing to do with your sexuality. It has nothing to do with your financial, economic, social, economic status at all. Because it affects everybody the same way. So like the other day, I was like trying to, just like I said, like today is like a low vibration day, like low energy day for me, because now I'm starting to get a little bit better, but when I first woke up this morning or whatever, I was like, and so as time has gone on like that, but everybody is energy. It can be proven. The seven chakras, and when I tell people about and everybody always tries to come at you with European, Greek, Roman, structure, Caucasian structures and paradigms that are simply not true. They're just beliefs, or they're just things that people wrote and put out there, and they have been espoused for so many years that people believe it, because that's the only thing that they know. And most people do not go back and study, and most of the people who have studied are not black people, unfortunately. and one of the things that really ticks most people out who are into Kemetic spirituality and those type of things is the fact that most black people, they don't want to learn anything about their history past slavery. or pass the Bible. They take the Bible, but the Bible was created to enslave you. It's plain and simple. It's a book of spells, curses, incantations, and all of that, especially the King James Version, against the indigenous people of the earth. And it has worked. The proof, in this one, the proof is in the actual manifestation, because the things that they put in there have actually, over time, have manifested. So you can prove it. You can't prove all that other stuff. Nobody can prove, nobody can prove the whole. Just like Hebrew, why do you think? And this is the funny thing about the word Hebrew and all of that. Hebrews, the book in the Bible, Hebrews is what in the Christian religion. And the funny thing is, it's not even really about Christ. It's about faith. All right. But if you go back and you look in the earlier versions, there was no such thing as faith. See, our ancestors did, and I've said this, and I tell you guys about this all the time. Our ancestors did not rely on faith. They relied on what? Wisdom and knowledge. And once again, it's the universal law of correspondence and the universal law of polarity. There's both things that exist. There is fear on one end of the pole, and on the other end of the pole is faith. And then in the middle, the parts of the thermometer have wisdom and knowledge. See, because if you have knowledge, and then you know how to use that knowledge, there is no reason that you don't need faith. And also, it eliminates your fear. The lack of knowledge is what motivates people to be afraid, or the amount of fear makes you have to be faithful because you don't know. And the only thing really that's unknown is Ra, which in Kemetic spirituality is the unseen, unknown, nature of life, or what the Europeans call God. So that's where the construct of God comes from. It doesn't come from. There is no, it doesn't have a gender. It doesn't have a race or all of that. It's just the fact that there are certain things that are out of your purview, like your death. Like you can't predict. You can't. Well, you can take, but you don't know. You don't know the day or the time. You just like you didn't know the day or the time that you were going to be born. That was unseen and unknown by you. All right. So when you get down to these constructs, the fact of the matter is that we have been indoctrinated into these constructs, and that's why I try to talk to you about how they want to push the slave narrative upon you, because and I was talking to my son about this yesterday, talking about certain parts of the Bible. Certain things in the Bible are true, right? Because they were stolen from the hieroglyphs. Okay, so they were stolen from the papyrus, they were stolen from the hieroglyphs, and they were stolen from Kemetic spirituality. Just like the construct of, as a man thinketh, so is he. Or as a woman thinketh, so is it. As a human thinks, that's what they become. And that's what the whole thing about. So when we talk about, manifestation, or like they say in the Christian church, saying is sowing, or whatever you want, however you want to put it, however you want to word it, but it is a universal law. When you put things into the universe, that's how they manifest. So the Bible is just the manifest destiny of the Caucasian race, because they didn't have a history. So they had no history, so they made one up. And then you guys read it, and then you keep reading it and you keep reading it, but all that stuff is not about you, it's about them. It's their destiny, it's their manifestation. And it's true to them. So if you keep on watching slave movies and believing you're a slave, and the only thing that you accept is constantly the slave narrative, then in your mind that's what you become, and you're easily controlled, because it's a mind control thing. So I don't subscribe to that paradigm at all. I'm just like, no, because and that's why they don't want you to know, or they pervert the real narrative or the real teaching, the truth. Because if you knew that you are great and that because remember, what does our thing say? It says you are your ancestors. You are your ancestors. Why? Because their blood flows through your body. So if their blood is flowing through your body, how did you get made? You can trace yourself back thousands of years if you could, if they had allowed you to keep your lineage and know what your lineage is. Why do you think they split up your families? Why do you think they sold you off and broke you up and sent one person there and one person there and changed your name and changed your language and changed your religion and all of that, so that you wouldn't understand that? That's why. But if you want to keep on subscribing to that paradigm, then it's easy to control you. Because you think, once again, we can go to a Malcolm X-ism. If you continue to believe that the white man's ice is colder and that your ice is warm, then forever and a day you'll have warm ice. Or no ice, which is really what we got. We have no ice. But so get those paradigms out of your mind. You built the pyramids. You go get that and I keep on repeating this stuff over and over again so that you can change your mindset. And that's exactly what I was teaching my son. Change your mindset. Your mindset has to be the mindset of winning. You have to be winning all the time. Perfect example, Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. I am, the two most powerful words in the universe. I am. Why do you think even the Europeans wanted to put that in their Bible? I am that I am. Because you make it happen. Ain't nothing outside of you making nothing happen. Everything that's gonna happen, everything that will happen is because of what's inside of you, not what's outside of you. They got us believing that we have to die to get stuff. You don't have to die, you have to live to get stuff. And that's the whole difference. You have to live. I am. You have to vibrate. When you vibrate at a certain level, what happens? Universal law of attraction. The things that you need, the things that you want, the universe will get them to you. But you have to attract them. The law of universal oneness. Everything, keeping your family together. Why? Because everything that you do affects everybody else. The original Trinity, was man, woman, and child. All of these other paradigms that they're pushing at you, and of course I'm anti-Semitic, homophobic, everything else. I'm not any of that, but that's the paradigm that they're putting out there. If you believe in the truth, the truth is the Trinity is Heru, Aset, and Asar, mother, father, and son. Or children. I shouldn't, and I'm not even trying to put. And as far as that whole thing about, there is a universal law of gender. Even plants have gender. Everything has gender. Or the universal law of vibration. Everything is moving. Everything is constantly moving. It is. The fact that energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Right? You can't destroy my energy. In fact, if you're listening to this right now and you remember anything that I said, my energy has transferred to you. And the same thing is true when people come out here, I believe, this lady called me crazy or whatever. And it's like, okay, so be it. If that's what you think, you can think whatever you want. But I know what's inside of me, and I know whose I am and who I am. And that's all I need. But you got to start believing that you're great. You can't sit up there and believe that you're a slave and manifest stuff that's king and queen like. You have to believe. You believe in that. You believe in Jeebus. You believe in white Jesus, but you don't believe in yourself. Anyway, and you can touch you. Anyway. Fast 15 minutes is up. I know y'all gonna hate that last thing I just said. Anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I love you, and remember, you are great.